I hope y'all have had a great time at church this morning. Whether you did a sunrise service or just did a traditional service. I hope y'all had a great time. Oh, I got my laundry in the background. Oh well. You know what? I'm a human too. I got stuff I gotta get done. But anyway, so I hope y'all had a fun time, great time at church. Not really learning, but yeah, learning about the resurrection and all. Yeah, just hope y'all have had a great week with this series. Today wraps it up. Yeah, I mean, I'll still be doing my backstory series, but this is the end of our Holy Week hymn series. I will not be recording or going live every day until next Easter. It's fun. I love doing it, but it is a lot of work. But oh well, I love it. So we're going to be doing 4 hymns, and the last of them we will be doing the backstory of. Hopefully I can play them all. I'm hoping to connect them almost like a medley or prelude style, but we'll see if that happens. So we have Christ the Lord is risen today, Christ arose, because he lives, just a chorus, and then he lives. So yeah, let's do this. Oh, what? I was thinking of Christ arose when I started playing Christ the Lord is risen today. I need sleep and chocolate and coffee. not particularly in that order, but that's what I need. So that was our Resurrection Sunday hymns. I know I probably did not get the timing correct at all on the verse of on the chorus of He Lives, but that was the best that I've ever played it. So, and today is the last day that we get to have my little things in here. We gotta, put them back, store them and all, but oh well. They serve their purpose for reminding us. Oh, and my new dress. I love it. But anywho, we are going to do the backstory to Because He Lives, or not Because He Lives, to He Lives. This was written by Alfred Ackley, the words and the music. And all my information is from my usual, Then Sings My Soul by Robert J. Morgan, and Thomas Nelson. Get all that in there. This was actually published not that long ago. So 90 years ago now, because it was published in 1933. So, yeah, in about 10 years, it will be 100 years old. Pretty neat, huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you've noticed the past week, I like to just sit up, cross my legs, whatever. So, hey, it's comfortable. But this hymn was written by Alfred Ackley after two incidences involving people not believing Christ was alive. Christ had risen. And he was a musician. He was, he was a musician. He went to a college or a school in New York City to further his musical studies. And then he went to the Royal Academy of Music in London. Pretty neat, huh? And that was the Royal Academy of Music was the best of music schools back in the day. It might still be now. I don't know. I can't afford it, so I don't even look into it. But yeah. So after he graduated from the Royal Academy, he went back to Maryland, where he attended Westminster Seminary, and then he was ordained into the Presbyterian ministry in 1914. He pastored for a while at his hometown in Pennsylvania, but then he felt the Lord call him to a church in California. That way, get to help build that church and all, and I don't know all of the details. Excuse me. But sounds something similar to what happened with my pastor and his wife. They felt the Lord calling them to some town in Alabama. They didn't know until they had driven through Dothan about 34 years ago, something like that. And yeah, they built my church up from scratch. And yeah, here we are. But I believe that happened to Alfred Ackley and his family, but the book doesn't go into much detail, so I don't know for sure. In 1932, he was talking to some people that he had met while soul winning, or door-to-door witnessing, whatever you want to call it. And he met this Jewish man who asked him, "Why should I worship a dead Jew?" When Alfred Ackley brought up Christianity and Jesus Christ rising from the grave. Now, he kept mulling that question over and over in his mind. And then a few days later, or something like that, a couple weeks later, it was Easter Sunday, like it is today. And while he was preparing for the day, he turned on the radio, and he was actually shocked and astonished when he heard what a very well-known minister liberal minister in New York say. And it has a quote. "Good morning, it's Easter. You know, folks, it really doesn't make any difference to me if Christ be risen or not. As far as I am concerned, his body could be as dust in some Palestinian tomb. The main thing is, his truth goes marching on." And after he heard that, Alfred Ackley, he wanted to throw that radio across the room. Like, now, I have a printer at work. I want to throw across the room because it hardly ever works. But the statement that preacher made was worse than the printer not working. Basically, blaspheming God and saying God was not risen. And we know that's not true. He's risen. He's alive. He lives. So, yeah. And all the while he was exclaiming, "That's a lie. That's an outright lie." And his wife came running into the bathroom where he was getting ready, and she said, "Why are you shouting so early in the morning?" And he told her about it, and he's like, that direct quote, "Didn't you hear what that good-for-nothing preacher said?" And he kept mulling it over, couldn't get either that statement that the preacher made, the liberal pastor made, and the question that the Jewish man asked him out of his mind. And he just kept mulling it over and mulling it over. And he actually changed his message that morning to Christ being risen. Like, he preached with such zeal and vigor on the resurrection. Because without the empty tomb, the cross means nothing. Pretty much. I mean, and that's true. I said that one of these days, this past week, one of my Bible teachers in high school said that. I still remember that to this day. You know? And he's got a point. I mean, anybody could be crucified on the cross and the body taken down. But only one person ever rose from the grave of his own accord. And that was Jesus Christ. He is risen. He is alive. And that's what Alfred Ackley preached on. And he preached pretty much the same message that night as well. And he was still heated about the statements that he heard and that he was asked after the evening service. And this is what his wife told him. "Listen here, Alfred Ackley. It's time you did that which you can do best. Why don't you write a song about it, and then maybe you'll feel better?" I think she was tired of him stewing about it, honestly. Because I know I've complained. I've been around people who complained. It wears you down. The complainer and the one hearing the complaints. So she's like, "Do this so you can feel better, so you can leave me alone." At least that's what I imagine. But yeah, he went to his study after that because he probably got the hint. He was probably a wise man, got the hint that his wife needed some space. But he went to his study. He read the crucifixion and resurrection account from Mark. And he was like, the words just started coming to him. The thrill went through him. Robert Morgan said, and he was like, "This is what I need to write." And that is how we got the song "He Lives." Yeah, this has become one of the most popular and most triumphant of any of the Easter hymns that we still sing today, 90 years later. And yes, it is still under copyright. However, I don't think I did anything wrong sharing it because it was full of mistakes, not timing. But to get all of the legalities out of the way, copyright 1933 by Homer A. Rodehever, and then copyright was renewed in 1961 by the Rodehever Company owner, international copyright secured. And it was used by permission in my Soul Stirring Songs and Hymns hymnal from Sword of the Lord. And This is the I want to say 1972. Yeah, 1972 edition. So just getting all of those legalities out of the way. But anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this week. Hope y'all have been able to focus on Christ and what he has done for you, done for me, done for all of us on that cross, and that he does live. We serve a risen Savior. He lives. And there's nothing anyone else can say about that. Anyway, I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. And I will see you next week. Leave your comments below about your requests. Because my brain is fried, honestly. So yeah, if you have any requests for next week, just drop it in the comments below. I will hope y'all have a good rest of your Sunday. If you have church tonight, hope you enjoy it. Hope it's refreshing. And I will see you next week. Bye.